Hello everyone.
Hello.
Let's do one more video from our couch. Global citizens coming to you from our couch. This video is very interesting for me to do because after a few years that you move into a new country, there are a lot of things that for you as a foreigner, they might be different, at times strange. And also there are some stereotypes that unfortunately other people from other countries have about this country where you're living. So in this video, we wanted to go over a few things that you need to know before you come to Brazil. This is very important. So I have prepared a list. Let's go through the list. The first thing that you should know as a foreigner when you come to Brazil, and this can actually bother some locals, is assuming that Rio is the capital of Brazil. Rio de Janeiro is not the capital of Brazil. So, what is the capital of Brazil?
Brasilia.
Brasilia. Brasilia is a beautiful city. It was a planned city. My favorite architect, Brazilian architect, Oscar Niemeyer, has designed the whole city. And from the map from above, it looks like a plane. The main street that leads to the Congress, it's actually the aisle of the plane, and then you have the wings also. If you have a chance, Google the map of Brasilia. And if you are coming to Brazil, definitely know that the capital of Brazil is not Rio de Janeiro. Another thing that you should definitely know, this is very dangerous. Do not assume that Rio de Janeiro is the capital of Argentina. Oh my God, the people of both countries are gonna get angry at you. So this is another big no, don't do that. Also, Brazilians do not speak Spanish.
Oh, that's true. We speak what?
Portuguese. I have learned big time that you should know that in Brazil is actually the only country in South America that does not speak Spanish. The official language is Portuguese. So when you come to Brazil, you have to have a little basic knowledge of Portuguese too, because from my experience, most of the people do not speak English or French. In the south, because they get a lot of tourists from Argentina, Uruguay, Paraguay, or Chile, they might speak some Spanish. But the official language is Portuguese, and you might just get lucky here and there. Maybe somebody in a store or in a restaurant, they speak English to you. But mostly, no. Don't think that you come here and even in touristic areas, people will speak English to you. No. The next thing that I want to talk about is actually a funny and an interesting topic. In Brazil, you must know that motels are not what you think they are. Motels are called motels, but it's not a place that you go like a hotel in North America or in any other country that you just sleep there with the family especially and kids. No. Motels are for couples or lovers that to go there, and motels you can
spend a few hours.
You can even pay for motels for a few hours. Like you can choose, I want to stay 2 hours only, 3 hours, 4 hours. So if you're driving on a highway, for example, and you come to Brazil and you see a motel, don't assume that you can stay there overnight. Some motels might allow you to stay overnight, but in general, motels in Brazil are used for other purposes. You need to look for a posada, which is like a bed and breakfast, or a hotel. Okay, this is very important. One more thing you need to know is that in Brazil, it's really not common for Brazilians to eat their food by hand, like touching it with hand. This I learned even from Mariana in the beginning. Like I said, no, Brazilians, we don't touch our food with our hand.
There is always a napkin, there is always something that you don't, maybe just French fries you eat with your
just
hands.
A little bit, yeah.
But the rest, we don't touch directly our hands with the food.
No.
Like we don't, no.
Or like if it's like a little coxinha or pound queijo, but again, wrapped in a napkin and you bite it. For me, the biggest torture in Brazil is having pizza. Because when I have a slice of pizza, I just grab it and I just want to bite it. But no, in Brazil, you need to take your time, cut it with knife, and then take it with a fork. It's torture, but it's the local standard, and I have learned to respect it and also to do it. So in Brazil, it's very common that you do not touch your food with your hand. And Brazilians don't do that. Next thing is something that I was very proud of and very happy about. Personal hygiene. When you come to Brazil, you will really understand that it's a cultural thing. That people take showers and they're so proud. Like at the end of the day, everybody is talking about, I'm just going to take a shower before having dinner. I was like, to Mariana, I was saying like in the beginning, I was like, why everybody has to announce that they're going to take a shower? Taking a shower is like a routine thing, but no. In Brazil, because personal hygiene is very important, people are proud and they talk about, I'm going to take a shower. Like in the morning, I just took my shower, now let's go have breakfast. I was like, okay, I didn't need to know that detail, but okay, thank you for sharing. But it's very interesting. The country is hot and humid. Most of the places that we have visited, the weather is in summer and even other times during the year, it's really hot. But even if you use like public transit, nobody will have will have a body odor or anything or nothing. Even the people that work like under the sun the whole day or physical work, at the end of the shift that they have, the work shift that they have, they take a shower, they put perfume on, then they leave their work. I love this. It's amazing. At the time that we were in Maceió in the morning, I would go and walk by the beach. Even the homeless people, they were taking a shower from the free water that is on the beach that you can just like rinse your feet from the sand and everything else. They had their own shampoo and their own soap, and they were taking a shower. I was like, my God, even the homeless people are very, very, careful about their personal hygiene, which is something that is really appreciated when you come as a foreigner to a country like this. Everybody is very, very aware that no, personal hygiene is very important.
And another thing that is very interesting about Brazil, and you should know, like we don't have a feature that, when you look like, oh, this person might be from that country, that person might be from that country. We don't have that, because we received immigrants from all over the world and the population is very mixed. Like everybody can be Brazilian. And Brazilian can be from any descendants. It can look like any other person from all over the world. That's very interesting. We don't have traits that will say yes, you are definitely Brazilian, because we can look like anything. No?
Yeah, you have there are European immigrants that came here, Asian immigrants, African immigrants, Middle Eastern immigrants. So when you walk on the street, especially in big cities like Rio and Sao Paulo especially, you see all kinds of people. So there is no one look that you can say, okay, this person has a Brazilian look. When you live here, you see that, oh my God, anybody can be Brazilian.
Yes. You might be maybe there is from regions of Brazil, some specific traits. But overall, there isn't a specific trait that says, okay, this is Brazilian, this is not Brazilian. We don't have.
No. And the next topic is one of the most important and most interesting topics. Football is a religion in Brazil. Football is in everybody's blood. You cannot be Brazilian or be in Brazil and not talk about football, not know about what is happening, especially let's say it's the World Cup that is happening. Impossible. And if you come to Brazil, you better note that the best actually, football player of all times, the whole history was Pelé. And as they call him, O Rei, or the King. So Pelé was the best football player. I know a lot of our Argentinian subscribers, they're gonna write in the comments, but in Brazil, this is the understanding. And then after Pelé, Maradona and Messi. But in Brazil, know that the best football player was Pelé, and football is part of life. Oh my God.
We say that there is a coach inside of all Brazilians.
A football coach.
A football coach inside of all Brazilians.
Yeah, of course. That's definitely a thing. And they even say a joke that, because Brazil and Argentina, they're always like rivals with football. And they say an Argentinian comes to a Brazilian and says, hey, look, Argentina, we are so good that even the Pope, he's Argentinian. Then the Brazilians say, but God is Brazilian. Which also, I have learned that too. Because if you come to Brazil, the way people drive, especially people on motorcycles, that they go in between the lanes, like the two cars are here and the motorcycles, they just pass in between the lanes with a speed that is just incredible. I always wonder, how come a big country with this population does not have like thousands of people that die every day? Because the way people drive, there has to be some sort of special insurance or protection, because otherwise, if it was in any other country, I don't know what would have happened. But this goes with the joke that they also have in Brazil between Brazilians and Argentinians. And this takes me to the next topic that I actually wanted to talk about. Brazilian people, in general, they are extremely nice. Very, very sweet.
Thank you very much.
Especially you. Yes, absolutely. In particular, especially when they drive, it's a different story. Everybody says, all the foreigners that we know, and a lot of comedians also, they say Brazilians are amazing until they start driving.
Yes.
I don't know what happens in Brazil. Once Brazilians are behind the wheels of a car, oh my God, driving becomes extremely aggressive and everybody wants to cut you off, everybody wants to pass you on the highway.
They're honking, they want to pass, why are they so much in a hurry?
Then you go to the beach, the same person spends hours on the beach, drinking beer, partying, sitting there. But the moment they sit behind the steering wheel of the car, oh my God, they just want to run you over and get to their destination. This is another thing you need to know before coming to Brazil. Let's see what else is on my list. This we covered. Yes, English is not widely spoken, and the size of the country and the population is also another thing that is really interesting. And we drove almost everywhere in the country. We visited so many different states. As if you have seen our previous videos, you can watch them. We have now more than 150 videos.
I think we visited 20 states.
Yeah, and in our playlist of Brazil, we have more than 150 videos now. So feel free to watch them. But it's very interesting also that each state is unique for its own culture, cuisine, even drinks that they have. It's very interesting.
Each state could be a separate country.
Absolutely, yeah. Easily each state can be its own country, because every state has its own specific culture, even music, food, costumes. Like the south in Rio Grande do Sul, the Gaúchos, they even have their own costumes. So it's very interesting. If you get a chance to visit different places in Brazil, definitely do. If you don't, watch our videos. The currency in Brazil also is real. It's not peso. So in Argentina, in Mexico, even Colombia, I think, no?
Pesos.
It's pesos. In Brazil is real. So this is another thing to know. As of recording of this video, 1 Canadian dollar is 4 Brazilian reais, which real, then plural becomes reais. And 1 US dollar is almost 6 reais. So this also gives you an idea how to calculate the conversion rate. One more thing that is very interesting is privacy. Privacy in Brazil is basically non-existent. And privacy, I mean personal privacy. The moment you move into a building or you go somewhere, people ask you, where are you from? How long have you been here? Do you like it here? Are you planning to stay here? So many things you have to explain always in Brazil. And not because they want to intrude. It's just the culture. People are curious. They want to know. This
and
is
they're not ashamed of asking.
No.
Like that is something that in the beginning for us was like we're so used to, like Canada is that you don't ask any personal questions, and then here everybody wants to know about you.
yeah, or certain things that we learned in Canada you don't even ask, like about people's ethnicity, or like I always say I'm Canadian. So, but are you originally Canadian? Like very openly in Canada, this is a big no. If somebody says they're Canadian, they're Canadian. You don't ask, okay, but what is your background? You know, here no. So many times I've been asked, no, but you don't look Canadian, because to them again, Canadian has to be blonde. You cannot be Canadian,
and blue eyes.
yeah, and not have blonde hair and blue eyes. So privacy, no, unless you don't even get out of the house. Privacy in Brazil doesn't really exist. Another thing that most of the time does not exist is personal space. Personal space also, from North America we learned that you have to always leave some personal space. Sometimes Mariana and I, we are in a line, we are together, but with the person in front of us, we leave a little bit of space. And then other people come and ask us, are you in line? I was like, yes, I just didn't want to be stuck to the person in front of me, but yes, we're in line. And then they go behind us and they get stuck to us. Like they're on the phone talking or having conversation. You can completely know what they are talking about, whom they are talking to.
But just to have, because we see from another perspective, like just to remember, when I arrived in Canada many years ago, I participate in some like, how can I say, adjustment courses. No. But in the courses, they would teach us that personal space in Canada, it's very important, and it's always the size of your arm. It's like so you stand your arm in front of you, then you know that's your personal space, and you expect the same, that nobody's gonna get closer to you than that. So that there's something. So if it's somebody close to you, like you know that you're invading my personal space. But of course it depends on the culture and the population of the country and everything else. Like but it's interesting when you come in the beginning, people are too close, so you go back and then they go closer, you go backwards, they come even closer. It's very interesting. And I think the same is like if from here you go to another country and then you see people talking to you far from you, you might find it weird too, like why you're so far. Like, you can come close.
One more thing that after traveling through different states in Brazil we learned about is plugs. This you have to know, that the whole country does not have the same voltage. Some states are 110 volts and then some states are 220. So everywhere in Brazil you always have to buy the plugs or the adapters, that when you want to charge your stuff they have to be compatible with your devices, which for me it was a huge shock, that like it's one country, how come like some states they have 220 volts and then some states they have 120 volts. But this has been the reality in Brazil, huh?
Yes.
How many years? It's been like forever?
It's been like this forever.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Wow. So they never changed it.
No.
Okay. Interesting. Lastly, be aware that it's an extremely, and I repeat, extremely noisy country. Noise is everywhere. Brazilians, as I mentioned in one of our previous videos, they have an obsession to break the silence. Let me put it that way. Like you really get this feeling that everywhere you go, if there is no noise, people don't like it and they find it boring. We like places that are silent and like quiet and peaceful. We go to a corner and then like all of a sudden there's music, people, loud people singing, laughing, screaming. And this is a common scene in Brazil. Culturally, this is what people like. And again, it's us. We have to adopt. It's not my country and I cannot come here and change everybody. No. If I'm here, I have to know that it's a noisy country so I can adapt myself. This brings us to the end of this video. We hope you enjoyed it. These are some things that I have compiled after the past couple of years in Brazil that I found interesting. If you have other comments, other things that you want to add to this, please feel free to add them in the comments section below. So we will read and we will always respond to all of your comments. We really do our best to always reply to all the comments that you guys leave us. Thank you for your support. Thank you for watching our video, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.